you must all know half a dozen people at least who are no use in this world, who are more trouble than they are worth. Just put him there and say, sir or madam, now will you be kind enough to justify your existence? If you can't justify your existence, if you're not pulling your weight in the social boat, if you're not producing as much as you consume, or perhaps a little more, then clearly we cannot use the big organization of our society for the purpose of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us and it can't be of very much use to yourself.
The right to walk around without a microchip implant seems pretty safe right now. But would that still be the case if people without implants somehow came to be in the minority? Or if the infrastructure of the entire planet ever came to be based on the assumption that people do have an implant? Indeed, that seems to be the direction in which Kevin Haggerty, writing for the Toronto Star, sees the system moving. In an article released in December of 2006, Haggerty explained how he believes the microchipping agenda will unfold, predicting a number of interesting scenarios, one of which was that having a chip will be a precondition for engaging in the main dynamics of modern life, such as shopping, voting, and driving. It would be prudent to introduce preventative legislation worldwide to avoid ever being obligated to accept a microchip. Human beings certainly have a moral right to not be chipped like animals. It's up to us to ensure that we have a legal right as well, and to insist that it stays that way for all time. And maybe we also need to think about other ways in which people could be caused to take a microchip implant other than by a legal requirement. VeriChip Corporation has been known to be less than honest in its relatively short history, but CEO Scott Silverman dabbled in a bit of truth in the following exchange from an appearance on NBC News.
All right, you hear the sound in the background, people saying, Big Brother, too much information, a little scary. How do you respond to that?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I used to get that question a lot 2 years ago. Today, we've gotten it a lot less. In fact, the Attorney General of Mexico and some of his staff have received this chip for security purposes. And when the acceptance rate of the product goes up significantly like it has, some of the privacy concerns go down. But to answer your question directly, Lester, what most people are concerned with is the invasiveness of this, that it goes in your body. And as we know with pacemakers and other medical devices, that when people accept it for its applications and for its ability is when it'll work its way into society. It won't be tomorrow, it won't be next week, but 2, 3, 5 years from now, slowly but surely it'll work its way into the mainstream.
In this fine-tuned performance, Silverman is talking about gradualism. He is revealing a strategy of long-term thinking based upon achieving the gradual normalization of what at first appears, correctly, to be a diabolical attempt to reduce each and every human being to a component in a massive human inventory, a mere vessel for the VeriChip to be used in conjunction with an anti-global smart system of Nazi war crime facilitators, IBM. The bad news is that the process of slowly but surely working its way into the mainstream took a big step recently, as the implantable chips were marketed as a one-size-fits-all solution to a hypothetical problem involving some sort of inability to access medical information without a microchip implant.
HealthLink is always with you when every second counts in the emergency room, providing immediate access to your medical records.
Because Bob has trouble remembering all his medications.
Because I'm in love with my kids' kids.
Because my car lost control while driving.
Because now I'm looking out for both of us.
Because I have diabetes, but it doesn't have me.
Because I spend my life in the ER trying to save yours.